Job. Job had everything go wrong. He was wealthy. It's all gone. He had children. They're dead. He had his health. And you know what they say about health? If you've got your health, you've got everything. His health is gone. He has friends who come over to be with him in his grief and his struggles, and yet they get busy trying to figure out, what sin did you commit, Job, to have God punish you this way? All Job wants is to have a chance to find out what God is doing. He wants to call God on the carpet. God, I want to talk to you. I want an answer, and I want it now. Why are these things happening to me? Why are you so mad? I mean, you're so big on justice. Why are you letting injustice run rampant in my life? Come on, give me some answers. Ever felt like that? That's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes our lives, we're getting along just fine, but we're being pushed and pulled and shoved and pressured from all sides. And God may not be dead, but God certainly seems to be a little out to lunch. And we have to get through it. And it's a struggle. There's a great film came out in 2006 called The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. Anybody see that? A few of you did, yes. Marvelous story about a fellow named, true story about a fellow named Chris Garner, whose life as a salesman was falling apart. His life as a husband had fallen apart. He had custody of his young son, and he gets a chance to become an intern at a brokerage firm. He finds out too late that they don't pay anything. So here he is, no money, no job. He's trying to balance taking care of his son, find emergency housing with the pressure cooker job training environment of a brokerage firm. And along the way, he finds a place to stay at Glide Memorial United Methodist Church in San Francisco. And in this church, there's a preacher. I forget his name right now. Slipped away. Anyway, he plays himself in the film. And the preacher says, you know what you got to know about the freedom train is that it has to go over mountains. It has to go up mountains that are way tall. It has to go over mountains that are way deep and low. We know about those mountains here at Glide Memorial. We sing about it. Life is like that. Chris Garner went on to become one of the few interns to be hired by the company. And Glide Memorial continues to be an oasis in a desert of hopelessness and despair. It's in the Tenderloin district of San Francisco, surrounded by people who are way out of luck. It keeps moving to the edge where justice happens, and it has a calling to all people, regardless of race or class or gender or age, that it's time to love unconditionally. Because in this world there is no easy three-step answer to our problems. But there's God. And God loves the world so much He sent His only Son, Jesus, not as a sheriff or a judge to pick apart who's wrong and who's right and who's up and who's down, but that the world might be saved through Him. And that salvation involves Jesus becoming fully like you and me. And Jesus is fully overwhelmed at times too. People are pushing and shoving and demanding. There's a great scene in Jesus Christ Superstar, a great song, where the people come up out of the rocks, out of the holes in the ground, See my eyes, I can hardly see. See my hands, I can see my mouth, I can hardly talk. I believe you can make me whole. See my purse, I'm a poor, poor man. And finally Jesus says, get back, there are too many of you. I can't do it all myself. In Jesus Christ, God knows how tough it is to be human. And God, who has always loved us, I think, discovered a depth of love that knows no bounds. It's always been unconditional. Now it is uncompromising and unending. And God is with us. I think Thomas is right. We've got to keep God with us. Not that God goes away, but we forget. In the midst of all those bulls of Bashan bashing about, we forget that we have God's presence. And we can trust that presence to get us through. Not just magically make everything better, but get us through so that we can learn and grow and become more whole in the struggles. That is the power of God. When I'm having the toughest time, I turn to the 121st Psalm. I should have found the page number. You could look it up. 121st Psalm. This starts off with, I look to the mountains. Where is my help coming from? Can you imagine standing there being totally surrounded by enemies and you're looking up for the cavalry to come and save you? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He who keeps you will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is the shade on your right hand. The sun will not smite you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this day forward and forevermore. When the bulls of Bashan are bashing, just remember where God is. And dial the spiritual 911. And trust that it'll be okay. Because it always is. We always move through it. And God gives us the love and courage and strength we need to be made whole. Thanks be to God. He said, free, free, you have received, free.